TCR is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit. Together we're better. Mueller Incorporated. Made in America. Made to last. Hoheim Prairie Insurance. Texans serving Texans since 1892. Golden Chick. The original and still the best. And top Texas towns, Abilene, Waxahachie, and San Angelo.
Why don't you just pop in and travel with me?
Pop in and travel with us. Welcome to Helping Hand, a special edition of Texas Country Reporter, brought to you by our good friends at Mueller.
Now, Helping Hand is really a simple concept. Every spring, we accept applications from Texas-based not-for-profit organizations who could use a little, well, a helping hand so they can do an even bigger and better job to help others.
Then we take all of those applications, we narrow it down to some finalists, then a group from Mueller and TCR set out to visit those organizations.
So let's take a look now at the 3 organizations who made it to the finalist list.
A group in Montgomery called Missions on Wheels deploys a fleet of support trailers to natural disasters in Texas and beyond. They provide beds, showers, and command centers to first responders and recovery crews, people who have left their homes to live in disaster areas for months at a time on just a moment's notice.
On a secluded campus in Medina, Texas, Arms of Hope houses children and single mothers in need. They come from all over Texas for a fresh start after facing issues like homelessness, abuse, and neglect. By having a safe place to live, work, and study, children can build a foundation for a stable, happy life.
And in Fort Worth, the Community Learning Center is a nonprofit trade school for low-income people. They help veterans, youth, and the long-term unemployed get valuable certificates and technical skills. Then CLC connects its graduates with steady, in-demand careers that can support a family.
Now, coming up next, we're going to find out which of these great organizations will get a brand new 4,000 square foot building.
Don't go away.
Welcome back to Helping Hand. Okay, Kelly, the anticipation is building. Should we tell them?
Sure. This year's Helping Hand recipient, the 14th building awarded to a not-for-profit agency by our friends at Mueller, goes to Arms of Hope.
Tucked away in the hill country on the corner of solitude and seclusion lies 400 acres of hope. Although this strip of land may seem like your average small-town neighborhood, looks can be deceiving. Come around the hill to find the place where at-risk children and young adults come for a helping hand, the Arms of Hope Medina campus.
The mission is to change generations, to truly change people's lives. We don't want to help with a symptom of a problem. We want to fix the whole problem.
Troy Robertson is the president of this nonprofit, currently serving 125 people on their Medina campus alone. But one program in particular at this facility does more than change the lives of children. It changes the lives of the women who raise them.
Most of our moms come from homelessness, abuse, neglect, even sex trafficking. And so they'll come in and right off the bat, we want to say you belong. And we show that by providing them with a beautiful home, not just a house, but a home. with furniture and toys for the kids and food on the table, clothes on their back. And then we go into, okay, we gave you that, you feel at home out here, now let's change your life. Now let's do some counseling. Now let's do some case management. Now let's get you to church and show you the love of Jesus Christ. And when you have that formula, then lives can truly change.
Arms of Hope's Together program has been helping single mothers on their journey through recovery and motherhood for more than a decade now. Since 2014, the program has been led and managed by Ashley Nelson. Ashley knows firsthand the effects of the program.
I was addicted to methamphetamines.
And when I came to Arms of Hope, I was really at my rock bottom. It was, I knew prison or death was my next step. When I first got here, I didn't think that I was worthy of change. I knew that my children were, and so I was fighting for them and fighting to regain relationships with my older two children. So in the beginning, I didn't do it for me. It took me a long time to realize that I was also worthy of having good things. And that I wasn't the screw up that I was told I was going to be for the rest of my life.
After Ashley graduated from the Together program, she started looking for a job in nursing. But when she was repeatedly rejected for those jobs, she began to wonder if she was meant to help people heal somewhere else. In 2014, like an answered prayer, a case manager position opened up at Arms of Hope, and Ashley found herself back in Medina. Now she is the one who receives the initial call from desperate moms like Krisha Albee and Angelica Jackson and guides them down their own paths to recovery.
I had a 7-year meth addiction. That was a secret for a long time. And then I ended up losing my car, and then my home, and then everything I possessed, and I wound up homeless with the guy who, if I was thinking clearly, I probably should have and would have not ended up with, and I ended up getting pregnant. After he was born, I relapsed again for 3 months, and I remember one day he was crying in his crib, and I just looked at him, and I realized that he deserves so much better. But not only him, I deserve so much better. And during that time, I have reached out to Miss Ashley and this program. I was resistant to change because I had moved so much. I didn't want to move anymore. And finally I said, you know what? I'll go where you want me to go, and I'll do what you want me to do. That moment really changed my life. And I was here 3 days later.
I ended up speaking about some abuse going on in my house, and I was put in a situation where I had to leave, like within 2 days. I applied here at Arms of Hope, and within a couple days, I ended up receiving a call back that I was accepted. It's been amazing. You know, we're still healing a lot from everything, but just recently, like, I was actually able to sit down with my oldest son and watch TV. And I know that might sound really simple, but what we came out of and the PTSD that he's struggled with, like, that means the world to me. You know, like, he was very disassociated while that was going on. So you would just see a child that couldn't really focus or do things, and it would break my heart. But just last week, you know, I sat down and watched a show from the beginning to the end, and like, he's coming back online, and so am I.
Krisha and Angelica are among the 35 moms who are currently starting new lives on the Medina campus. Though they all come from different backgrounds and came to this hill country healing facility for different reasons, they all have one thing in common. They are struggling and need an immeasurable amount of help, support, and love.
I feel like every time I heard horrific stories from someone that you're considering letting into this program, do you take that home at night? Does that live in a place in your soul? What do you do with that?
That is hard on the front end to see. I shed a lot of tears a lot of the time. But then it's messy. It's messy ministry.
So far, Arms of Hope's Together program has helped 650 families find the light at the end of the tunnel for the last 13 years. But with each call Ashley receives comes the stark reality that their facilities can't meet the growing need. With a helping hand from Mueller, they will be able to open the door to a new beginning for 5 new families and provide more hope for future generations.
I do the intake for the new moms coming in, and one of the hardest parts for me is telling a mom who's crying on the other end, saying that she has no options, nowhere to go. She's homeless, sleeping in her car with her kids. One of the hardest parts for me is telling her that I don't have an opening for her. I typically have a waiting list, and being able to offer more housing for these families that are struggling, I can't even go into words how excited I am, knowing that we have more families, that we have the potential to change the trajectory of their families' lives.
But being told that Arms of Hope is the recipient of this year's Helping Hand event is just the beginning.
Next up, we're actually going to build the building in just 3 days.
Stay with us.
Welcome back to Mueller's Helping Hand.
So, Kelly, once the folks at Arms of Hope found out that they were the recipients of this year's Mueller's Helping Hand event, the clock started ticking. There was a lot of work to be done, including getting all the Mueller men together to build the building.
And it all started in a conference room in the West Texas town of Ballinger.
I would like to welcome everybody to the Mueller campus.
At the moment, there's no meeting more important to Troy Robertson and the staff of Arms of Hope than the final planning session at the Mueller headquarters in Ballinger.
That's the whole timeline.
Questions are asked and blueprints are reviewed as everyone gets ready for this brand new building to be constructed in just 72 hours. And after a full day of finalizing schedules and touring the factory floor, the morning finally comes when an army of Mueller men from all over the state gather together on a freshly poured concrete slab in Medina.
Make sure that you're wearing your PPE. You need to have a hard hat, you need to have gloves. Above all, just be safe, take your time, and let's have a good time. All right, guys?
You can feel the excitement in the air as trucks come rolling in with a load of steel for Mueller's 14th helping hand.
Arms of Hope is forever grateful for what's happening. I don't know how else I could put it into words. The overwhelming gratitude for what's about to happen on our campus.
Those men are incredible. Not only the work they're doing, and that is huge. That is huge. Now, I don't know if I've seen them out there struggling. They're big men. They are amazing. They are dirty and they're dusty, but my gosh, they are amazing.
It is a sight to behold as the Mueller men lift, screw, and cut all day long as they work to build this dream. These bolts and beams come together at an unbelievable pace because the Mueller men are on a mission. But In between doors being hung and panels erected,
Good afternoon.
they heard about the life-changing journeys that have come out of this amazing organization.
My name is Danielle, and I would like to take you guys on the journey that made me who I am today. I spent 5 years with my oldest children's father, who was emotionally, mentally, and physically abusive. I shielded my kids the best I could when their father and I started fighting. One night I was unable to get my kids into their room before their father started breaking things. They were scared and screaming. I yelled at him to shut up, and before I knew it, I was flying across the kitchen. My babies, for the first time, had seen the monster we were living with, and before I could get to them, he walked over to them and screamed in their face to shut up. My boys were 3 and 1, and at that time, I will never forget their faces and the cries that happened after their father screamed at them.
We've had moms come and share their testimonies with these men during the lunchtime. So for a mom who in her life has been nothing but mistreated by men, who see men as dangerous, who want something from them, then to walk in and share their testimony and see 50 men, true men, big men, strong men, that then look up at her and treat her with respect. And for her to realize that there are men out there that are worthy of her love. And that's what these Mueller men are doing, are showing her that there are men like that out there.
Arms of Hope was my last chance to get things right. Not only am I doing things the healthy way, but I'm thriving at bringing my children closer to our Lord and showing them how to walk in His light. Thank you very much.
As the structure begins to take its final shape, it couldn't be more obvious that the Mueller men are doing so much more than building a building. These 4 walls will become a home, but more than that, they will pave the way for redemption and a path to a life that will be forever changed.
I remember one Sunday, there was, Troy Robertson had gotten up at the church and was talking, and he had asked me to share something that meant redemption to me. And in that moment, my children, the twins that are here with me, had written a reason why they loved me. And the comment was, I loved you because you changed your life for us. And
how does that make you feel?
Like I've changed the world. I feel like a brand new person. There are things in my past that I am ashamed of. But today I don't let my past define who I am. I am a woman of God. I am a mother. I have a successful career. I have a degree. And I have the ability to walk with other women hand in hand and lead them to the places that I've come.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Let's start off with a word of prayer, please.
There is no greater cause for celebration than the newest building on Arms of Hope's campus.
I knew you would build a building. What I wasn't prepared for was the amount of respect, engagement, and love that you showed our employees and our moms out here. So thank you guys so much for that. We are so thankful for that.
The anticipation rises with every moment of recognition. And as Mueller owner Brian Davenport prepares to hand over the keys to this new structure,
Arms of Hope is very near and dear to me.
Every person in attendance is aware that those keys will open more than the doors to a new home. They will open the doors to new lives, to new opportunities. They will open the doors to the arms of hope.
So right now, I'd like Ashley to come up, and I'm going to give her the keys to the building.
We want to walk in faith and we want to grow, and that's what Mueller has allowed us to do, to grow, to take on 5 more single mother families, love on them and minister to them. So my prayer in 5 years is that you'll see Arms of Hope continue to be a place that loves and blesses single mothers and their children.
If you were writing a thank you note to the Mueller men, what would be the last line of your letter?
You help change generations. Have a great time. Thank you so much for being here.
We want to thank you for joining us for this year's Helping Hand.
Thanks to our good friends at Mueller, yet another Texas-based not-for-profit organization will be able to do even more work to help others. I'm Bob Phillips.
And I'm Kelly Phillips. And this is Texas Country Reporter.
We'll see you next time.
TCR is brought to you by Capital Farm Credit. Together we're better. Mueller Incorporated. Made in America. Made to last. Hoheim Prairie Insurance. Texans serving Texans since 1892. Golden Chick. The original and still the best. And top Texas towns, Abilene, Waxahachie, and San Angelo.